So what is Cosy Octopus, or I call it Octopus Cosy? Well, it's a smart electricity tariff, and it's designed for people with heat pumps. I think that if you've got solar and a battery storage and a heat pump, then you're better off going for a solar and battery tariff, really, like Flux, I think, rather than this. But do have a look at it, especially if you've only got a heat pump and you don't have solar, then it's definitely worth having a look at. So why have Octopus done this? Well, probably because they will sell you a heat pump already as well. So you can go from a gas boiler to an air source heat pump, and there's a link here to take you to this, sort of leave your details and go to the kind of costings and how to get a heat pump installed by Octopus. So another reason why they've got this tariff. So what's it all about? Well, really, it's about shifting your peak use with your heat pump to 2 times during the day. So here's how it kind of works. Now, Cosy Octopus is a 3-rate tariff. So there's 3 different rates. And basically what you get is every day 6 hours of cheap electric in order to run your heat pump during those hours at a cheaper rate, and obviously run the heat pump for a lot less money than you would on a normal electric day cost. So the 3 rates are: number 1, a day rate, which is set at the standard flexible Octopus rate in your region. So this can change, can go up and down. There are then 2 cozy periods of super cheap rate between 4 in the morning and 7 in the morning. So if you want to get your house nice and warm early in the morning in the winter, that's for you. And then again, you can have a cheap rate between 1 and 4 every day before it then gets quite expensive after 4 o'clock. So the peak time when everyone's using their electric. So this 3rd rate, a peak rate, you will be charged if you use electric between 4 and 7 p.m, which is 60% above the Octopus flexible rate in your region. So 2 cheaper rates, a normal day rate and a more expensive evening kind of rate. So if you want to find out your rate, what you're best to do is to go onto the Octopus website, because these rates really do vary between counties or wherever you live in the UK. So if I put in my postcode, obviously don't forget you could be watching this video years after I've made it, so these prices would have probably radically changed. So at the moment for me in mid-May 2023, the day rate, this is the main kind of normal day rate, is 33.98 pence per kilowatt hour. So let's say 34 pence a kilowatt hour. Now your cozy rates, these 2 rates in the morning and in the sort of 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock afternoon, they're priced at the moment at 20.39 pence per kilowatt hour. So let's say 20 pence a kilowatt hour on that one. And then your peak rate, and this is quite high, between 4 and 7 p.m, they would charge me at the moment 54 pence per kilowatt hour, which sounds really expensive to me, but there you go. And the standing charge is about right at about 42 pence per day, and all these prices are inclusive of VAT. So if you want to switch to Cosy Octopus, you need to be an Octopus Energy customer already. So you need to sign up with them and go on a standard tariff initially. That's normally about 4 weeks. Obviously you might not be with Octopus already, so you need to move your account across from some other provider. You need to have a smart meter, fairly standard that one, and then they need to get readings from your smart meter as well, and then you need to accept the terms and conditions, and then you're kind of ready to go. Now there is a frequently asked questions on the page. So basically what this says is that Octopus Cosy is a flexible tariff. It means it's a variable tariff. It means the price, the unit rates and the standing charge can rise and fall with wholesale energy prices, but they will always give you a reasonable notice of the changes in prices. So this is not where it's going to change during the day, like some other tariffs, like on Agile, but it could change. It's not a fixed tariff for say 12 months or anything like that. You're interested in moving to Octopus Energy in order to get their Flux or Cosy tariff, then if you use my code, which is tough-snail-7955, as shown on the screen now, you can get yourself a £50 bill credit. Now you can also quote that code when you actually speak to Octopus on the telephone, or by entering it in your sort of admin control area once you've moved to Octopus within the first couple of weeks of actually moving. Or you can actually just use the direct link that I've got there on screen in the middle, and I'll also put that in the description below of the video. As we speak, I don't have a heat pump, so this tariff is not something I'd be interested in, mainly because we charge the two EVs or one of the EVs overnight, so we need that kind of very cheap rate overnight Octopus Go rate, which is about 9p, which is kind of half the price of the kind of Cosy rate. Now I'm just going to compare the Cosy rate with the current Flux rate, because I just wanted to try and compare those for the prices as of today in May 2023, just to see how they differ and if you'd be better on one than the other. So just quickly to tell you about Octopus Flux. Octopus Flux is a solar and battery tariff. So this is why I'm looking at that. So just in case you've got a solar and battery set up, then you might want to look at Flux instead. So I thought it'd just be interesting to have a look at the differences between the two Octopus tariffs. Right, so I've opened both these up. On the left, we've got the Cosy, and on the right, we've got the Flux rate. So let's not take into account the export. Let's look at the import. So the day rate is 33p. So that is the same as Cosy for the day rate on Flux. The Flux rate at 2 till 5 in the morning, which is a little bit, stops a little bit early because it's only 3 hours. It's actually they're both 3 hours. They're both 3 hours, but one's 4 till 7, the other one's 2 till 5. Both the same rate, 20.39p. And the peak rate is a lot higher on the Cosy, 4 till 7, 54p, whereas the peak rate is 47 on the Flux, and the standing charge is exactly the same. So you're not getting a second go at that cheap kind of rate in the afternoon at 20p, but you only get it once on the Flux, but you are paying less for the peak rate electricity. So, you know, you might be better on Flux than you would actually be on Cosy if you've got a heat pump, especially if you've got solar panels, because you've got the export side of things there. Now, hopefully you should be able to, if you went onto Cosy, go onto the standard Octopus export rate, which is currently 15p per kilowatt hour. So that's not too bad if you went on that, but you could still get more if you were exporting a lot on the day rate on Flux at 22, or even more if you wanted to export at during the peak rates for 36p per kilowatt hour. So I just wanted to have a look at those. It's funny how a lot of those prices per kilowatt hour actually are the same, especially the day rate. The Flux and the Cosy rate are the same, and the standing charge is the same, but other bits do kind of vary. Yeah, interesting. So if you've got a heat pump, then I would seriously have a look at Octopus Cosy and do your own kind of sums to see if it works for you. Alternatively, if you've got kind of solar and battery and heat pump, then I'd probably really have a look at Octopus Flux. And I have done a video on this already. The link, it should be at the top of the screen now, and I'll also put a link to it at the end and in the description below. And also, if you've got an EV and you do a lot of miles, have a look at Octopus Go. But if you've got an EV, solar and a battery, you might want to look at Flux and or Go. But if you've got a heat pump, who knows, probably Flux might still be the one for you. But it's worth doing all of the sums and working it all out before you jump. But one of the great things about the Octopus tariffs is a lot of them aren't tied in. You aren't tied in. So if you get it wrong and you choose a tariff which isn't working out for you, you can quite easily move to another tariff. There are kind of no penalties really for These are not fixed tariffs. There's no penalties for leaving kind of early on most of these, and you can swap and change, where some people are trying kind of flux out if they've got solar during the summer, and if they've got an EV then they're moving to go during the winter when there's less kind of export of their solar. So you should find a good fit for you, and you can obviously always move around as well if the prices change. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give us a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you soon.